Bulletcast for life.
Get up, this is a revolution. This is our time to rise. Look deep within your mind, look deep into the...
Hello ladies and gentlemen, you know the name, you know the voice, you know exactly why I'm here. Just in case if you don't, I'm a 23-year-old piece of gold, the Messiah, the microphone, and the greatest sports recreational podcast in the world today, the Podfather. I'm here because I'm just here to lead the revolution, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't matter what kind of revolution it is, I'm here to lead it. Because who else is going to, you know? You know what I mean? But you know I never do these shows alone. He's my tag team partner, the Jim to my J, the Toe to my Arn, the Stevie Ray to my Booker T. He's the Le'Champion of the Bulletcast. Brandon Tanguma, how you doing today, man?
You know, Phillip, I'm doing pretty good. My leg's a little sore from my workout yesterday, but all is good in the world because later today I'm going to be watching the new Star Wars movie. It's going to be great. Hopefully. Not going to get my hopes too high because last time I got too excited and I was let down, but this time it's going to be all good.
It's okay, man. You know, being let down, it's just a part of life. My life is full of disappointments. Yeah.
And anyways,
yeah, we got to talk about tables, ladders, and chairs. It was this past Sunday. I did not watch it live. I was attending NXT Live at the Event Center at San Jose State. We're going to talk about that a little bit when we get to the Inside of the Ring portion of the show. But tables, ladders, and chairs, Brandon, tell us what happened.
well, a lot of things happened. We started the show off with, I believe, was the best match of the show. Well, technically, we're not going to talk about the pre-show because we usually never talk about the pre-show, but we had the tag team ladder match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The New Day defeat the Revival, and what I thought was a pretty good match. I think this match and the match after were the two contenders for the best match of the night. My leaning towards this match was because I thought the crowd was just a lot more into this match than the Alistair Black-Buddy Murphy match.
Absolutely. Where did tables, ladders, and chairs take place?
Lovely Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Oh, home of the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar.
And my boy Wade Keller.
Oh, of course. You can't forget Wade Keller, you know?
Even though technically he lives in the St. Paul area, so it's kind of like over here, like Oakland and San Francisco. Like, you don't get those two mixed up. They're two distinct different cities, even though people outside probably don't care.
These are all possibilities. So I rewatched TLC, or watched it for the first time, just like a couple days ago. The ladder match, you know, Kofi with the ladder, it's always going to be fun. Big E had some amazing spots. This was really good. This was fun. I enjoyed it. The crowd, they were live. Because, crowds in Minneapolis, are they ever really truly live? You know what I mean? I don't think they are. But this was good-ish. The New Day, they retained their SmackDown Live Tag Team, or SmackDown Tag Team Championships. And yeah, nothing else to say about it.
So then next up, we had Alistair Black taking on Buddy Murphy. Maybe the most athletic match of the show. Good back and forth. We both had high hopes for this match. We possibly predicted it was going to be the best match of the show. And I would say it did live up to the hype. But as I said about the New Day match, I didn't feel that this crowd was really engaged with this match. But they didn't really have a reason to be. Alistair Black has just been asking for someone to fight him. Buddy Murphy knocks on his door. We don't really have a reason to cheer or boo either one of these guys. But in the end, they put in a good effort. It was a good match.
This was very good, you know. Do we know how long this match ran? I believe I said on the previous show, give me like 15, 20 hot minutes and get me the hell out of there. But it was goodish. It was very goodish. I love Buddy Murphy. He's always going to be I'm always going to be a big fan of Buddy Murphy. You know, I think the guy's extremely talented. He's come a long way from his Murphy and Blake days, along with Alexa Bliss down in NXT, that little tag team run with the NXT tag titles, to now. I mean, he stood out with Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns and had this barn burner of a match with Alistair Black. And I like how Alistair went for his move right off the bat, like right as soon as the bell rings. We don't see that in wrestling a lot. I'm like, why don't you just hit him with the move and be done with it, you know?
It's almost like it's a fight, and you would want to hit the person with your best move first, so you knock them out.
Exactly, you know? But this was very good. I don't know where we're going to go from here. Maybe maybe Alistair is going to move into the upper mid-card level of the roster, and I don't know, Murphy. He can. I think he'll be fine where he is. I see big things for Buddy Murphy in 2020.
Moving on, we had the Raw Tag Team Championship match. It was an open challenge for the Viking Raiders, taking place in Minnesota. I think they had a missed opportunity to have the Viking Raiders be, Viking territory. They were doing the skull chant and all that good stuff. But anyways, the OC come out, they cut a promo because they're the best tag team in the world. And this was basically all just for a spot of Kentucky Fried Chicken because there's people at ringside eating. For what reason? Because KFC paid WWE handsomely, I assume. And of course, somebody goes through the table. But then we get this match on Monday. I don't know why we had to do it on Sunday because KFC was involved. There was a double count out. So I thought you could have just taken this match out, but get your money, boo-boo.
Yeah. One thing, Cracker Barrel, they sponsored All In. I didn't see people ringside eating Cracker Barrel. Why did we have to see this for KFC and WWE? Don't know.
Because it's finger looking good, Phillip.
Honestly, man, KFC's not all that great. Popeyes is cool, but you know what's a real gem? You know what's a really good gem? You ever had Whataburger, Brandon?
I have not had Whataburger.
They have this chicken sandwich. Put a little breakfast chicken sandwich, a little bit of honey on there. Get you a strawberry milkshake. You're in for a good time. That's that good chicken. Or if
when I went to the Dominican on the way back, I had a layover in Charlotte, so shout out the Flares. But I had in the airport Bojangles. Only time I ever had it. Very, very good, I have to admit.
Or, you can go to like a Roscoe's maybe if you're feeling frisky. Or if you want high cholesterol, just go to Church's Chicken. There's one in Oakland. Grease drips through the bag, but it's good stuff. This match was fine. It was okay. Double count out. We see, oh my god, the Bulletcast hotline is ringing, ladies and gentlemen. We see a lot of double count outs, but it's just whatever, I'm fine with it. It happened again the next night. It's whatever.
Smack dab in the middle of the show, the Big Dog took on King Corbin in a tables, ladders, and chairs match, which I don't know if they lived up to my rules of they used only those things, so maybe there should have been a disqualification in that match. But anyways, definitely in the women's match there should have been a disqualification because more than just TLC was used. But we get King Corbin getting the victory because Roman Reigns has no friends. King Corbin had like 20 people come out and assault Roman Reigns. Nobody came out to help Roman. I don't know why the New Day didn't come out. The Revival showed up, but Roman Reigns has no friends, so he loses. Sad, sad day for the Big Dog.
Somebody went on Twitter and was like, Mustafa Ali, why didn't you come out and help Roman? And Ali was like, bruh, I'm in Chicago. I thought that was funny. So what is the purpose of a tables, ladders, and chairs match, Brandon?
Well, it should be normally to obtain something that's above the ring.
And what did they try to obtain?
Sweet, sweet victory.
Absolutely nothing. Look, this could have been no holds barred. Could have been last man standing. Could have been an unsanctioned fight. I find it funny how unsanctioned fights in WWE, they actually count. They count towards a win-loss record. But WWE doesn't have win-loss records. Yeah. Interesting. Anyway, Roman Reigns was hit over the head with a can of dog food. Dolph Ziggler comes out there. It's just a whole kerfuffle of stuff. It was physical. It was fine. And the Big Dog, he took some L's in 2019.
When he put this match in the middle of the card, I kind of had a feeling that maybe Roman was going to lose, because if it was in the main event, we all knew Roman has to go over and make everybody happy. But then in the end, Roman went over strong and made everybody happy because a big old kerfuffle happened, because apparently now Roman has friends with the New Day and the Street Profits, and then he jumps off the stage, not the stage, but off the stands, and that's how we go off the air. So maybe you could talk about that aspect a little bit.
It was whatever. I mean, I really don't know what else to say. It's that typical WWE. There's a whole bunch of people standing around, and somebody's going to jump off at something, and they're all going to go down.
Like a something brick house. I'm not going to cuss on this episode because we did all that last week.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Moving on, now this is when I kind of thought the show went downhill. We had Bray Wyatt, just Bray Wyatt, no Fiend. Technically, he showed up on the Jumbotron, but he was not there in person. I think the crowd might have been a little ticked off about that. He ends up beating The Miz, who was just same old happy-go-lucky Hollywood Miz. And then Bray Wyatt wins with the Sister Abigail, the most protected move, maybe even above the One-Winged Angel. And then Daniel Bryan comes out, and as we predicted, he got a little haircut, got a little trim on the beard ski, and now we're going to get Bray Wyatt taking on Daniel Bryan, presumably at Royal Rumble.
This was a huge win. I mean, we got not Daniel Bryan, but the American Dragon is back. I mean, not like American Dragon Jake Long. Did you ever watch that, by the way, Brandon? American Dragon Jake Long? That was a very good TV show.
Does not ring a bell.
Does not ring a bbell? Oh man, you're missing out, man. But yeah, Daniel Bryan, it's cool. I dig it. I like. It was time for a change. So apparently the Yes Movement is officially back. We're gonna have to wait to see what happens tomorrow night on SmackDown to really grasp what's gonna happen between Bray and Daniel, or the Fiend and Daniel. But yeah. How did you feel about Bray's entrance? How did you feel about that?
Well, last week I kind of talked about how I am kind of cooling off on this Bray Wyatt character because you have the top heel in the company, presumably, and he's also is like his alter ego is like the top babyface in the company. And then when you go up against the Miz isn't like the best wrestler in the world. He's not, the crowd's not gonna get behind him all that well. So when you have like two people who are supposed to get over in opposite senses, it didn't really work for me. But then Daniel Bryan comes out and the crowd was like, okay, we didn't get the Fiend, but at least we're going to get Daniel Bryan. So hopefully Daniel Bryan is going to be the one that can turn the crowd against Bray Wyatt. Still a little skeptical about that, but I'm also getting kind of 2014 vibes where Daniel Bryan's facing Bray Wyatt, or Daniel Bryan's facing Bray Wyatt. He's going to get super over, and then Roman Reigns is going to be the one in the end who beats Bray Wyatt.
Did you read my mind over the Skype waves? That's
Maybe.
That's where I'm going, bro. We don't know where this is going. Big Roman wins the 2020 Royal Rumble. And then he goes on to WrestleMania in his home state of Florida. And he's going to beat The Fiend for the championship of the universe. Yeah. That's where we're going. Unless, Vince has a mishap or something, and he's like, you know what, Daniel, you can win it this year. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to ditch the Mr. Rogers Bray Wyatt just because I think that part is like funny and it's like comical. And I think the crowd is kind of enjoying it a little too much. So then when you bring out the Fiend, people don't like hate the Fiend because they see Bray Wyatt. And the Fiend, yes, he does these dastardly things from time to time, but for the most part, we see happy Bray Wyatt. So that's, I think, another reason why it's kind of hard for the crowd to boo Bray Wyatt. But Daniel Bryan, I think, will get the job done.
He quite possibly could get the job done. We don't know. What else do we have on this show, Brandon?
Well, we had Lashley and Rusev in a tables match, and it was just exactly what you thought it was going to be. Lana overacting,
yes,
and then someone goes through a table. So, all these matches, it's like, oh, you can use this weapon whenever you want, but a tables match, nope, you don't get to use it until the end.
Yeah, it was whatever, moving on from it.
We have the main event, women's tag team title match, Kabuki Warriors taking on Becky Lynch and Charlotte in a TLC match where something was actually hanging above the ring, but they didn't actually really go for it all that often. Maybe like there was 2 or 3 spots where somebody actually climbed the ladder to retrieve the titles. They worked hard, I'll give them that, but I thought this was definitely a letdown. I think Kyrie got injured somewhere, possibly a concussion. We're not exactly getting word on that, but I felt like something was off with Kyrie during the match. Becky Lynch getting tied to a rope or tied to a ladder like she was a damsel in distress on the train tracks. I wasn't a big fan of that. And, I mean, overall, if we compare this match to last year, I know both of us were there, so it's kind of hard to compare because we were there live and it's a different experience. But, all these women except for Kyrie were in basically the same exact match, and I thought that match worked a lot better than this one. I don't know why, but that's just my opinion.
Well, I mean, Kyrie got concussed like in the first 2 or 3 minutes of the match. Yeah.
Just like Bubba Ray.
No, but I mean, yeah. So can Asuka only defeat people at TLC? Is this the pay-per-view where she's undefeated?
And Royal Rumble, she got a good streak going at the Royal Rumble.
So just back, those are the only 2 nights where she will be superior to the women's division.
She has a good December and January. After that, it just all goes to hell.
Yep. She has 2 months where she's awesome. And then it all goes to ish. The match was fine. It got clunky because of Kyrie's concussion. Hopefully she's all right. And, Asuka looked strong on Monday. Charlotte and Becky, they had to take an L. It's okay. No, Becky won't have 2 belts for a while.
Yeah, they didn't do the dissension between the two. It was just kind of a straight-up win for the Kabuki Warriors. I know we're going to get talked to it, but I did like what they did on Raw, kind of shifting away from Charlotte, because I think we've been there, done that with Becky and Charlotte, to move it into Asuka.
Because nobody's ready for Asuka. Nobody. All right, outside of the ring, the Rated R Superstar Edge. You think you know him, do you? Do you really know him? I know him. I know Adam. Look, it's been reported by Pro Wrestling Insider that he has reportedly signed a new in-ring deal with WWE. Now, a lot of guys say they're going to retire, and they don't. Hogan, so many times, Foley, unfortunately, Shawn. But there have been 2 people who have actually stayed retired. That's Stone Cold Steve Austin, and that's Edge. What are your thoughts on the possibility of the Rated R Superstar having one more go inside a WWE ring, Brandon?
I have not really heard anything about Edge coming back to WWE to wrestle.
This just broke like an hour ago.
Oh, well, that's what happens. I wasn't on the internet. But, if his neck is healthy, if he can pass the physicals and all that stuff, if he knows what he can do and he wants to maybe come back for a Royal Rumble appearance, maybe have a one-off match at WrestleMania, I'm fine with it. As long as he is comfortable and he's not being forced back in, which I assume he's not, because Edge was a big deal, but I don't think Vince is going to come crawling to Edge to wrestle at WrestleMania to pop a huge subscription hike.
I was just going to crawl back to him for another live sex celebration. Him and Beth this time.
If you want to win the Wednesday Night Wars, maybe that's the way to do it.
Maybe that is the way to do it. Edge, he's one of my favorites of all time. I think he is in my top 10. I'd have to go back and look at my list. But yeah, I loved the character Edge. Best spear of all time, ladies and gentlemen. I know you're going to say, oh, Roman has a nice one. There's Goldberg. There's Rhino. Nah. Edge had the best spear. It's all about the psychology. It's not just about the impact, ladies and gentlemen. It's what you do to set it up. You know what I mean? Do you understand that, Brandon?
That's what she said.
Oh my God. Is that going to be the name of this one? That's what she said?
No.
The finger slip was a one-time deal, ladies and gentlemen. My fingers never slipped like that. All right, we're going to move on. WWE Trademarks old WCW and ECW pay-per-view names. Here we go. So, Living Dangerously, Heatwave, Anarchy Rules, World War III, Chi-Town Rumble, Sin, Sold Out, New Blood Rising, Hog Wild, Capital Combat, Road Wild, Greed, Uncensored, Spring Stampede, The Day Of, Mayhem, Beach Blast, Massacre on 34th Street, Hardcore Heaven, and Eat, Sleep, Conquer, Repeat. Thoughts on all of that?
WWE owns ECW and WCW, so might as well own their trademarks as well. Don't know if this is them playing defense against AEW, because Cody has expressed wanting to do some sort of retro pay-per-view names and pay-per-view concepts. But, with the names he rattled off, none of them really stood out to me as, you need to get those. Spring Stampede's a nice, all-encompassing pay-per-view title. I don't think you want to do some of those WCW titles from, 2000, 2001, like Sin and all those other ones. So, if they use them, I'm fine with it, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to use them because they barely use any WCW stuff except for Starrcade being a house show that nobody watches.
Yeah, the Chi-Town Rumble one I could see because, AEW goes to Chicago quite a bit, and, Chi-Town Rumble, that's where one of the matches that Steamboat and Flair had in their trilogy happened, so it just makes sense, man. It just makes sense. But, the one that I would like to see them actually use is, I don't know, Capital Combat would be kind of cool. I think that'd be neat, or Heat Wave. Eat, Sleep, Conquer, Repeat, that's just going to be a Brock exclusive pay-per-view, like Beast in the East.
Maybe next week we'll see Massacre on 34th Street.
Oh my God, that'd be great, right? That'd be awesome. All right, and then they also put out a list of the top 10 debuts of this decade. Number 1, the phenomenal AJ Styles. 2 is Sting. 3, Ronda Rousey. 4, The Shield. 5, Samoa Joe. 6, Adam Cole, baby. 7, Braun Strowman. 8, Kevin Owens. 9, The Nexus. 10, Shinsuke Nakamura. What are your thoughts on that list, Brandon?
Nice to see some NXT love on that list. I don't really have any qualms with any of them. I haven't gone over and looked at every single debut that's happened in the past decade, but they all pretty much stand out. And AJ Styles would have been a lot better if Kevin Dunn didn't mess up on the camera shot and show Roman Reigns instead of AJ Styles. But that's besides the point.
I mean, if we really look back at it, I remember watching that night. I'm like, Roman's confused, and then I look and I'm like, oh my God, it's AJ Styles. So it may have worked out for the best. We don't know. Oh yeah, I mean the Nexus. That's always one that's gonna stand out. They had a great run until SummerSlam 2010. Yeah.
And Big John had to flex his powers.
He did flex his powers. No John Cena at a pay-per-view at all in 2019. It's like the first time in 17 years, man.
Different times we're living in.
I miss Big Match John. I do. I really do.
He's doing big things. He's an actor now.
He is, man, but he's our Hogan, Brandon.
He's coming for Dwayne's crown.
Nobody's coming for the Rock's crown. You can't combat it. You can't. You just can't. All right, we're gonna keep going here. Kofi Kingston signs a new 5-year deal with WWE. Congratulations, Kofi. You know you've risen to the top in 2019. Your historic WWE Championship win. Your current reign as a 7-time Tag Team Champion in WWE. There's only more for Kofi. What do you think, Brandon?
Yeah, I mean, Kofi, he won the title this year. Hopefully he can go back to that title picture. Probably not, but you never know. New Day have the podcast. They seem as though they're in a comfortable position inside WWE, so no real reason for them to leave and, bet on themselves to do something else.
Absolutely. All right, my boy Zicky Dice is NWA. He's a member of that roster now, Brandon.
So you're telling me the streak continues?
The streak continues. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have never heard us say this, if we interview somebody, they basically go on to do bigger and better things. Jeff Cobb has the Ring of Honor New Japan thing going. AJ Kirsch, MLW. Zicky Dice is now NWA. Chris Van Vliet got signed to AEW. TJP got his whole New Japan contract going and his little Impact rub. I think we're doing it, man. I think the streak is really continuing.
So if you want to go do bigger, better things, contact your boys.
Contact your boys. Yes, absolutely. Oh, Carl Fredericks. How could I forget about him? His big stuff in New Japan. So, yeah, man.
He's the biggest one of all.
He might just be. I'm looking at the list. We did like 13 interviews this season. I mean, not season. Jesus, are we seasons? Are we episodic like that? I don't know.
I mean, technically on the DVR it says for WWE episode whatever week it is. So, it could be a season. Season 3.
Actually, no, yeah, there we go. We did 15. I'll just shoot them off. This year, we have interviewed Will Hobbs, the world's freshest tag team, Marcus Lewis, AJ Kirsch, Dave Dutra, Chris Van Vliet, TJ Perkins, Levi Shapiro, Johnny Dynamo, Zicky Dice, Steven Tresario, Starboy Charlie, Carl Fredericks, and Keita Murray. Thank you to all those guys who have been on the show this year. It means a lot to us. And just keep doing what you're doing, guys. You're killing it in all aspects of the fields that you are working in.
You can almost say maybe this is our season finale, since next week we're doing our Bulletcast Awards.
This might be the season finale. Next week is the Bulletcast Awards, and then the week after that's what we'll be in a whole new decade, Brandon.
One might say a whole new world.
Oh yeah, we're not.
I'm not going to start singing.
Yeah,
okay.
No Disney stuff. You know how much I hate Disney. Or did you know that?
So I guess I should return my Disneyland tickets that I got you for Christmas.
Oh, absolutely. There were Disneyland tickets. Wow. Yeah, I've been to Disney World. I'm okay. All right, we're gonna go to Inside of the Ring. NWA Into the Fire. Nick Aldis, the world's champion, retains against James Storm, and then all of a sudden, Marty Scurll, a former Ring of Honor six-man and television champion, emerges from the crowd. You hear the whoop whoop. You hear it all, and you're like, "Oh my God, Marty Scurll's in the NWA." Brandon, what was your reaction to him emerging in the NWA? And two, did you think he was just going to go straight to AEW?
I did think that he was going to go straight to AEW, but I guess that was ignorant of me to think that he was just going to go from one contract to another. Cody did talk about this, that maybe this is just a short-term experience. Nick Aldis and Marty Scurll are boys. I think they wanted to finish up some of the stuff that they did with the NWA title earlier on in the year. So I think this is a good little way to wrap up that storyline. Marty can kind of go elsewhere, do some different things that he's never done before he kind of gets back into the groove with AEW and those guys over there. He can still do indie appearances and everything with AEW, but I presume he's not going to go to NWA and AEW at the same time. So maybe hold off on Marty Scurll and AEW for a couple weeks, maybe a month. I don't know when the next big NWA show is, but interesting pick for Marty to be in NWA.
I would love to see Marty Scurll with the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. And Aaron Stevens, we knew him as Damian Sandow. He's the national champion over there. And the television title is going to be making a return. Stu Bennett, a.k.a. Wade Barrett, was on commentary, and he presented the championship. I love the TV title. WCW, NWA, hell, I wish WWE had a TV title. I wish AEW had a TV championship. I just love a good television championship. I'm not going to speak about the Impact one because, it didn't do all that great. But Brandon, what are your thoughts on the NWA TV title making its return and that classic look of the title?
I mean, it's a good looking title. Maybe they have plenty of titles already in the NWA. Maybe you don't want another one. I think AEW is maybe in the business for getting another title, which I agree with because they only have the one major men's singles title. So, I mean, I got no issues with it. But it's if they stick to being a certain gimmick, I'll be fine with it.
Absolutely. All right, I'm going to talk about my experiences at NXT Live this past Sunday. San Jose State University, the Event Center. Oh, it was good. It was good, man. I went with Sean Stewart. He was on the first episode of the Bully Cast all those weeks ago. And he's made recurring appearances. Yeah, so we went with a couple of his buddies, and it was just a good time, man. Brandon, did you ever make that trip? Hello?
Make the trip.
I'm
sorry. When you were on I was on the phone. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I have made the trip to NXT in San Jose. I've been there multiple times. I was there for the first ever show, the groundbreaking show, a couple days before WrestleMania. That they have a nice little plaque and they have autographs all over it. I was there.
So, were you there this past weekend?
I was not there this past weekend. I was too busy watching TLC, drinking White Claws, because I'm a basic you-know-what.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it was cool, man. They did some continued storytelling, to hype up what happened yesterday on NXT. And I like that, using house shows for that. We got some surprises, didn't expect Pete Dunne to be there, and didn't expect the Prince, Finn Balor, to be there either. He got a huge pop. Him and Keith Lee, they had a nice little exchange. I got heckled for booing the hell out of Matt Riddle because you know how I feel about him. And I got to see Adam Cole, baby. He didn't wrestle, but he made a run in. But I didn't get to do the scream, which was basically all I was there to do.
Was it a good time? NXT seems like it's always a good fun time.
It was. Io Shirai did the splits in front of my section, and zipper sound effect, I got to see the boy Baby Huey and his brother Tommy. Got to chop it up. I saw them there, and then a few days earlier saw them at the boy Bimbo Jimbo, his little birthday bash at Yancey's in SF. Happy belated birthday, Jimbo, from all of us here at the BC.
Happy birthday. Hopefully you get a Christmas present and a birthday present, and people just don't combine the one into one.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right, we got to get into this day in wrestling, a Starrcade 1999. This is 20 years ago, Brandon. Have you ever seen this show?
I don't know if I've ever seen it in its entirety, but I definitely know I have seen what this show is most famous for.
you have seen what it's most. Tell us what it's most famous for.
Well, it's for that infamous Goldberg Bret Hart match where Goldberg just mule kicks Hart right in the head, and Bret Hart was never the same again.
Yes, right in that MCI Center in Washington, D.C. Ended Bret's career.
Still salty about that.
Are you really?
No, he's still salty about that.
Oh, I mean, Bret's salty about a lot of things, man.
I mean, we make fun of Bret, but honestly, like, that kick to the head, like, that definitely changed his career and changed, like, his mental health, and it really did kind of mess him up.
It did, you know? Goldberg, he was on Steve Austin's Broken Skull sessions. Have you seen it, Brandon? I have not.
Me neither.
Oh, so not next week. When we do in 2 weeks, we'll discuss it. How about that?
Okay, that's my homework for the week.
That's your homework. You know, watch it over Christmas. You know, be a good time. Ooh, they have new Finn Balor Prince shirts. I might have to cop one. I might have to. This looks very nice.
They have a Mauro Ranallo t-shirt, so you might have to grab that too.
Mamma mia! I might have to. I'm still on the lookout for that Enzo Amore I got the sauce shirt, because I don't know what happened to mine. That's a rare hidden gem. If any of you people know where I can find that in a larger size, you hit your boy up. And then also, Mean Gene Okerlund, he passed away earlier this year. He would have been 77 years old today. R.I.P. Mean Gene.
R.I.P. Mean Gene.
Yes, you know, he will be in the Bulletcast Memoriam. That will be in the intro for our Bulletcast Awards next week. Alright, we got fan mail. Nobody's really wrote in, man, so we just have the one.
Hopefully it's a good one.
Yes.
Make it count.
Oh, yeah. Jack of all trades. TLC was good at some parts, but Murphy and Black was really good. Not to mention Kofi in a ladder match is just magic. Yeah, that was it, Brandon.
More of a statement than a question, but good for you. Somebody wrote in.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully people just kind of trickle them in as we record. You know. Oh no, we'll see. All right, Monday Night Raw. Seth Rollins continued evolution as a heel. He cuts another promo in his home state of Iowa. He's from Davenport, but they were in Des Moines, so, you know. It's similar. Close enough. So he cuts that promo. Then later on in the night, he assaults Rey Mysterio. Hits him with that steel pipe that Mysterio handed Kevin Owens to attack Rollins with a few weeks ago. And Rollins gives him a curb stomp and challenges him to a match for the United States Championship. So we'll get that next week.
We will get that next week. I have not seen any spoilers. This was the rare double taping of Raw. So technically what we were seeing was not actually live. It was like on tape delay by like an hour and a half. But the Rollins continuation of his heel turn, I did enjoy it. I thought it was really well done. I am enjoying Rollins' kind of delusional heel where he still doesn't think that he's doing anything wrong. No Kevin Owens, which I like. Hopefully he's not on next week as well. Just really sell the curb stomp on the concrete. I think Rey Mysterio, perfect babyface for Rollins. Maybe Rollins does beat him. He can be the top heel champ while Brock Lesnar's gone. And possibly, I know this might be something a little out of the blue that I don't think they'll actually do, but maybe we get a Brock Lesnar babyface turn and he faces Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. We get this match a bunch of times, but now that we got a heel and face dynamic a little switched, maybe that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we do that. Then Daniel Bryan wins the Royal Rumble and challenges The Fiend. Brandon, look at you booking the damn territory.
I mean, I try. I mean, if you listen to my Under the Radar podcast that I did a little bit later this week, I did correctly predict what was going to happen on NXT. So, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Rhea Ripley over AF in person. I got to see her wrestle live finally. That was dope. That was really dope. Yeah. But I'm interested to see where Rollins is going to go because we all know I love heel Seth. I enjoy heel Seth. But you know what I enjoy more, Brandon?
What is that?
The 3 most deadly letters in all of sports entertainment. RKO. Because that is what the phenomenal AJ Styles sir came to on Monday night. He got hit with one, and my boy Randy Orton, who if you were to build a sports entertainer from the ground up, he would look just like him. Orton beats Styles. Yes, this happened. A little redemption for Randy after his big L to to Styles this past WrestleMania?
You know, I give Randy Orton a lot of flack on this podcast, but I'll call a spade a spade. I did enjoy this match with Randy Orton, Phillip. Settle down. I hope you're still in your seat. You haven't fallen off yet. But I thought this was a pretty good match. I thought they, wrestled really hard. I did like the calf crusher spots where it did look legitimately like Randy Orton was struggling and trying to tap, and it looked like a real fight. And I thought overall, really good match by these two veterans to end the show. Gets my seal of approval.
It's about time, Brandon. It's about time. I just got back into my chair, by the way. The knee locked up again. Had to stretch it out. But yeah, you know what? I'm glad you're finally on this train.
I mean, I'm not on the train. I jumped on for like one stop. It was like, okay, thanks. That's good enough, and then I left again.
Good enough. Don't tell me you're still on this Matt Riddle train. Are you?
Choo.
Wouldn't it be bro?
Bro. I'm gonna start doing like the Rock noises, like when he, yeah.
Stop, dude! Don't do any of that. That's great. The OC, the original, the only club that matters. They defeat the Viking War Raider Experience. Yeah.
Didn't have to do the match at TLC. Could have just had this match on Raw.
Yep.
And there you go. But KFC paid the big bucks for people to be eating chicken at ringside, which I will give them credit. They were actually eating the chicken, so living the gimmick.
Yeah, they didn't eat all day just so they can have some not so delicious chicken. Brandon, if you had to pick, would you have KFC just for some chicken, or would you go somewhere else?
I'm a Popeyes guy, but I don't hate KFC. It's okay, it's fine. If Popeyes line is out the window, which it normally is, then I usually go across the street and go to KFC because there's usually no line. So poor KFC, it's fine.
Is Popeye still selling that chicken sandwich?
It is selling that chicken sandwich. I had it for the first time a few weeks ago. I had the spicy one because, of course, you got to get the spicy chicken sandwich.
How was it?
Amazing, mind blowing, 7 stars.
Oh, you're like Big Dave. Big Dave was there too. Didn't see Big Dave, but he was there on Sunday night. Just throwing it out there. I like that. I really do. Yeah, all right. Brandon enjoys the Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Still have not gotten the regular one, so.
You're not missing much.
But I haven't had the regular Chick-fil-A sandwich either, so, spice. I'm more of a spicy guy, so.
Not a Chick-fil-A guy, man. I'm not,
It's okay, but the real war that everyone's going to talk about is the mac and cheese war. Chick-fil-A mac and cheese, I think, is better than Popeye's mac and cheese.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe we'll do like a whole fast food episode one day, because I got hot takes.
Brandon, I'm starting another podcast, so we can have that discussion there.
You're doing another podcast.
Yes, let's step away from the wrestling talk for a second, ladies and gentlemen. I am starting another show. I had this will be like my 4th or 5th podcast that I've done. Yeah, I had to turn the effing mic on, then I changed it over to Big Dog Conversations, and the accounts have been, I don't know how to say this. Your boy forgot the passwords. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to any of you. Your boy forgot the email, forgot the passwords. So just start over from scratch, do something new. Not sure what I'm going to call it yet, but this one I could talk about whatever I want. We could talk about mac and cheese wars. We could talk about who has the best chicken sandwich. We could talk about the Trump impeachment. Oh, God. I didn't think we were going to go there on this show. But you get my drift, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be some big things for your boy coming in 2020. Yeah.
Maybe your boy make an appearance and we can talk about everything and not wrestling.
We can get into Brandon's shoe collection because my boy has some kicks.
I do. I didn't know you've noticed because I never brought you over to my house to see the whole collection. But I got some.
I pay attention when we meet up to go to these shows.
It's not extensive, but there's some stuff in there.
All right, we're back to this wrestling. Asuka defeats Deonna Purrazzo. I forgot Deonna Purrazzo existed.
Yeah, she's with Chelsea Green in NXT. I don't know why she had to show up on Raw, just continuing the muddiness of the quote brand split. I don't know why Deonna Purrazzo had to be on the show. You just can't have like a regular jobber out there. But I mean, they told a good story, I guess. giving Purrazzo some TV time, but then Asuka ends up getting the victory in the end. So it looks as though we're getting Asuka and Becky, which the Becky promo was not on the script. It's a shame because I thought that was probably the best thing on the show. I enjoyed that promo very well. It was like...
That wasn't the best thing on the show. We're about to get to what the best thing on the show was.
Okay, maybe the second best thing on the show. But it took me back to, a year ago when Becky was getting super hot, super over. It was just, serious, want to kick some ass Becky, and I liked it.
Yeah, man.
Give me that Becky.
Oh, it's back, ladies and gentlemen. It is back. It is back. I miss that, Brandon. I really do. You haven't had a real reason to say it. It's been kind of a decline for Becky. But that rise last year, that just real organic rise, that was good-ish, man.
I've been pounding the drum for Becky Lynch since I've been here, saying give me that Becky.
You've been pounding Becky's drum?
I mean, we're not going to go there. She's happily engaged to that sniveling SOB Seth Rollins.
Yes,
but it's okay. Yes. Shout out Becky Lynch. She had the 24 special airing after NXT yesterday.
Oh, I got to see that.
I didn't know it was coming on, so I didn't record it. So I watched the first 2 minutes after it came on NXT, and then it got cut off from my recording. Then I watched the last 2 minutes of her winning at WrestleMania. So I pretty much got the whole story.
Absolutely. All right, Lana and Lashley are engaged, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be one of the best weddings we've ever seen. It's going to be better than Edge and Vicky, better than Macho Man and Elizabeth, better than... Did Kane marry Lita? Did he marry Lita? Did he?
I don't think he actually did marry Lita, just got her impregnated.
Just got her impregnated, that's right. It's going to be better than Hunter and Stephanie going through the drive-through chapel in Vegas. It's going to be better than Tess and Stephanie. It's going to be some really good-ish. I'm excited. I'm incredibly happy for Lana and Lashley. They deserve it. Lashley had a hard-fought night going up against Rusev. He defeated the Bulgarian Brute, and now he's moving on to becoming a happily married man.
After all this stuff that we've seen on Raw, I think it's fitting that possibly the end of this storyline is going to be a lovely, terrible wrestling wedding.
I love wrestling weddings. It's going to be better than Bully Ray and Brooke Hogan. A little Impact knowledge for you. Yeah.
I can't wait for Lana to do her over-the-top, scream, yell, stomp the ground, kind of like what Stephanie did back in the day.
It's going to be great. It's going to be really great. All right, Andrade, he defeats a whole bunch of people to become... Is he the pseudo #1 contender for the United States Championship?
Well, technically, they didn't really announce a decision. Andrade beat up Humberto, and then I think the match got called off. So they wasted the entire second hour for this match, and then we didn't really get a decision.
Andrade wins by TKO.
But that wasn't announced.
He won by TKO.
Is that what you're saying?
It's confirmed. He won by TKO.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, this would be a nice way to turn Andrade babyface, no lie, if Seth beats Ray. And then all the Hispanics come together and we get the LWO. LWO for the Hall of Fame, I'm just saying.
I mean, put in NWO White, NWO Red, put in
NWO
LWO
2000.
Just put them all in there. I mean, that's what CM Punk wants. CM Punk wants every single person from the NWO inducted, so just have that entire building filled up with NWO people.
If you can somehow get all of them on one stage, if they're doing that little ring thing again, that'd be great, man, So many people deserve rings. Scott Norton, Virgil, Soul Train Jones, he deserves a ring, That's how you get Elizabeth in there. Shawn Michaels can become a 3-time Hall of Famer because he was in the NWO. Booker gets another ring. Oh, man, yeah. That's how we're doing this.
If you put every single person who's been in the NWO, it's going to look like the end of NXT last night.
It will, and that's okay. That is okay. All right, well, while we're talking about a show that happened on Wednesday, we got to talk about the other show that happened on Wednesday. Brandon, take it away.
Talking about Dynamite.
Yes, we are.
Yes, I did that. I should have done that. But anyways, we started the show off with the Lucha Bros taking on Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page. They started in the ring for the show, maybe trying to jumpstart the NXT title match over there on the other show. So we get the Lucha Bros defeating Kenny and Hangman Adam Page after there was some miscommunication between the two babyfaces. The Lucha Bros get the win in the end, and then we get a little scuffle, maybe something between Kenny and Hangman, but nothing really too drastic. And then we see Neville, and he is apparently going to beat up Michael Nakazawa, but we didn't really see it. We didn't really see anything that really happened. And in the end, Hangman Page did actually come to the savior of Kenny Omega after the Lucha Bros beat him up backstage. A lot of stuff taking place in this opening 20 minutes. Phillip, take it away.
Oh yeah, so this match was great. You know, I always love Pentagon's little crip walk into the Zero Miedo, and then I gotta say Hangman Page like JR. Hangman Adam Page. Yeah, I mean, a possible heel turn for Page. If that happens, I love it. He's an effing horse. You know, he does a cowboy-ish. You know, we may be able to cuss on the year-end one, Brandon. I think we'll allow that. Okay.
Okay, the powers that be will let it slide.
Absolutely. Yeah, look, Kenny Omega versus Hangman Adam Page. That little rivalry. I'd be really into seeing that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let Hangman break away from the Elite and let him become because guy's only 26 years old. He's a few years older than Brandon and myself. Like, just let him go, man. Just let him become a badass on his own. Break away from the Elite. Do it. Be the little brother that becomes a bigger star. Okay? Michael broke away and he became a bigger star. You can too.
Thoughts on Kenny and Pac still being a thing?
Well, they put on good matches together, so you know, Pac's carrying Kenny, so you know that's why that's happening. But yeah, I mean, hopefully it leads to something, you know, like that's.
Did I miss something, or did Pac abduct Michael Nakazawa and they never went back to it?
I don't think they ever went back to it. Well, he didn't really abduct him. Like, Nakazawa was listening to music or something, and he just crept in there. That's why you can't be having your headphones on full blast, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I was walking down the street with my AirPods on the other day, just full blast, just jamming out to some Aerosmith, some Dream On, right? And I almost got hit by a biker because I was not paying attention. Yeah, gotta be careful, guys.
Gotta keep your head in a swivel.
Exactly, but that's another thing. We got to go back to the continuity. Maybe AEW needs a little continuity too, Brandon. Maybe
they should enlist your boy to be the continuity writer.
I mean,
continuity person, but it's okay.
We're on that media team, so you never know.
Next up, we had another tag team match. We had Darby Allin and Cody taking on the Butcher and the Blade with the Bunny. Jim Ross continuing to mix up the Butcher and the Blade, despite them having their names or their logos on their tights. But anyways, Darby Allin and Cody get the victory after Darby hits a coffin drop on the Butcher, and then Cody hits a Cody cutter off the top rope on Blade for the victory. I thought the match was good. I think I enjoyed last week's match a little bit better just because I think I liked the dynamic of having kind of the jobber and Cody trying to get the job done. They kind of had Cody sell a little bit more and build it to a hot tag towards Darby. I think it maybe would have worked if he kind of switched it. But all in all, I thought it worked, and we have to wait till 2 weeks from Wednesday for the MJF Cody thing to continue to evolve.
Yeah, what are they doing next week? Is this going to be like a little specialty show? Or?
They didn't. I don't think they announced anything. NXT said they're going to have some matches. I assume it's like a house show that they recorded sometime in the past, like some tag team matches and some random matches. But AEW, I don't think they're doing anything.
Okay, well, that's nice. You know, they want their people to work on Christmas. I understand. I get it. Darby Allin, when JR said Enigma, I'm like, oh, I get those Jeff Hardy vibes when he says that, you know. The Cody Cutter, I enjoy that. I really like that, you know. You don't have to use your finish to win a match all the time. I don't know how you get it confused with the Butcher and the Blade. One looks like a butcher, the other one, he has collarbones like a blade. And then the Bunny, you know how I feel about that zipper sound effect. This was good overall. This was, you know, send the crowd home happy. Cody gets somewhat of a big win, a little redemption from last week. And, yeah.
Yeah, we had Awesome Kong's first match on AEW Dynamite. She took on Miranda Alizee. And, of course, Kong made quick work of her and chopped off a little bit of her red hair to add to the collection. So, speaking of collective, the Nightmare Collective continues to run rampant on AEW.
Give me what I want!
Give me what I want, Brandon.
Hair?
No. Awesome Kong in a more meaningful storyline. Yeah. Look, Brandy, I love Brandy to death. She is a sweetheart. She really is. She really is. But Awesome Kong, like will we consider Awesome Kong legend?
I would say so. I would say she's a legend in the especially American women's division in the past 15, 20 years.
She pioneered the women's wrestling narrative long before WWE tried to take claim to it a couple years ago. She needs to be in a more distinct role in this company. Hell, look, if Nyla Rose can't be the champ right now, look, we're gonna get into what happened in the women's division later on, but Awesome Kong, like early 2020, like she needs to get that title.
I mean, I don't know what her health situation is. In the match, she wasn't exactly, looking all that good. She kind of was a little slow and sluggish, but maybe that was just what the match called for. So we have to wait and see. 2020, Chris Statlander, spoiler alert, is in line for a women's title match. Does she win? Who knows? But I do think Awesome Kong will be maybe the champion or definitely in a title match in these next couple of months.
Well, yeah, with Awesome Kong, if you watch Glow, she has some severe back problems, so maybe that's what's going on.
Mm-hmm. You need to get in the hot tub to loosen up.
And the wine, she had a lot of wine painkillers, and a hot tub. That'll cure you right up.
Mm-hmm. Moving on, we had the top of the hour main event. We had Jungle Boy in a 10-minute match with Chris Jericho, non-title match, of course. I thought they did a good job building up Jungle Boy, really focusing on him earlier on in the show with some good video packages. In the end, Jungle Boy is locked in the walls of Jericho for a good amount of time. He does not tap. Chris Jericho is angry, asks for 5 more minutes, and then Jungle Boy gets the better of Jericho. Then Jericho just scurries out. Then he cuts a promo, and he tries to lure Jon Moxley because he says he has a surprise for him on January 1st in Jacksonville.
There you go. I mean, this was very fun. You had Luchasaurus and Big Hager going at it for a little bit. Marco Stunt gets laid out, but Le'Champion still looks strong, and they built up Jungle Boy a little bit. Now, if he had put in the Lion Tamer, that knee on the back of the head, then he would have won. But it's okay. Did they say Walls of Jericho on the show?
I think they just said Walls. I don't think they actually said Walls of Jericho. They have been saying Lion Tamer more often.
Yeah, it's okay. It's whatever. It's fine. But good for Jungle Boy. Hopefully he moves up in the card, or you know what? Maybe he could be the first mid-card champion in AEW history. You never know.
Possibly. I mean, I did like how they structured the match. Jungle Boy got they got a lot of offense early on, but then in the end, Jericho kind of got the victory. But then Jungle Boy lasted with Jericho, so Jericho, can say he won, but Jungle Boy technically tied, and just kind of that delusional heel that Jericho's been doing. He did a little bit with Tony Schiavone at the top of the ramp, which I quite enjoyed.
Gotta love Tony Schiavone. He has that ice in his ear. He has oh my God, Tony Schiavone got drip.
He's got that Georgia drip.
Can you do a Tony Schiavone impersonation, Brandon?
I'd rather not. Chris Statlander takes on Britt Baker for a number 1 contendership for the women's title, and Chris Statlander beats Britt Baker. Chris Statlander still undefeated in singles competition in AEW. Our boy Georgia Drip, Tony Schiavone, comes out to try to interview Chris Statlander, and then she just touches her nose and touches his nose, and Tony didn't know what to do with that kind of information. And then Brandy comes down and tries to recruit her, but then Statlander said, old Stone Cold style, and there you go.
Yeah, I'm tired of all these cults going around in wrestling. Yeah, we need to.
Oh, we're not done.
Yeah, no, I know. I know we're not done. We need to calm down with all this. The Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny. I'm cool with that. The Nightmare Collective, it needs to go, and whatever the hell that was at the end of AEW, that needs to go. I don't need to ever see that again. Yeah, but Chris Statlander, I mean, I like her. She's cool or whatever. I hope she's not going to get into some weird gimmick too, like Eric Rowan or whatever. Like, just let her be a cool wrestler. Can we just do that? Can wrestlers be cool again, Brandon?
I think wrestlers can be cool. Now going to the women's match, the title match, Riho, Chris Statlander. Phillip, who do you got?
Apparently they have a lot invested in Rio, so I guess she's gonna retain.
I agree with you. I think Rio has been doing a good job. She hasn't been seen on television all that much, but I think having her win, and maybe Awesome Kong is the ultimate person that she loses to, but then you can kind of build her up again, and she can get the better of Awesome Kong at All Out or whatever pay-per-view they want to do this at.
Absolutely. All right.
And then in the main event, we have another tag team match because, tag team wrestling matters. The Young Bucks take on SCU for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. The Young Bucks, I thought, cut a good promo before the match started. They talked about how SCU and them were friends, and it's going to suck when they're at the Christmas table and the Young Bucks have SCU's titles on display because they beat them in this match. But SCU did not beat them, or SCU did defeat the Young Bucks in this match to retain, and we're just going to leave it there for now. What do you think about the match, Phillip?
Well, let me break it down for you. The match, it was fine, it was cool. Matt Jackson throwing the spear, I love all that. It was fine, it really was. What the hell is the Dark Order? What the hell is this? I don't like it, I don't want to see it, I don't need this on my TV. I thought you guys were supposed to be different. I really did. I might have to shoot on AEW for a second, Brandon.
Go for it.
Look, we don't need all these, like I just said, we don't need all these cults. The Butcher, Blade, and Bunny thing, that's fine. Get rid of the Nightmare Collective. Was this, the Dark Order, was this their gimmick when they were on the Indies? Was this it?
Well, it wasn't exactly the Dark Order. It was, player 1 and 2 or whatever. So I don't think so. I haven't seen enough for them to really know, but yeah, I don't think this is what they were doing at PWG.
Look, this is where we need to get off TV for a few weeks or months and repackage and come back and try something else. It takes a lot. Glenn Jacobs wasn't successful right off the bat. He was a dentist with terrible teeth. He was a Christmas creature. You know what I'm saying? He was fake Diesel, and then he hit something with Kane. All right, this isn't hitting. This is not hitting. Go back to the drawing board. Tony, Bucks, Kenny, Cody, you guys gotta shape up right now.
Feel better?
I kind of do, man. Oh my God, I threw shots at Cody. I love Cody. I love you, my guy.
You blacked out for a second. You didn't know what you were doing.
I did not know what I was doing. But just when it comes to AEW, just you know what?
Give me what I want.
I want stuff that matters. I don't want all this weird Narnia, evil Harry Potter stuff that's going on. I don't like it. I don't.
I have liked what they've been doing with the Dark Order because they came in, no fanfare, nobody knew what the hell they were. And then they tell a good story on being the elite and some of the stuff on Dynamite. But my problem isn't exactly the Dark Order per se. It's more of the fact that you had pretty much your entire top tier baby faces just get absolutely dismantled by this group of jobbers. Literally jobbers is who was beating up the Young Bucks and SCU and Cody and Kenny and all these other guys. The Dark Order have been recruiting literal jobbers to be in their cult, and then they beat them down. I don't know why, since this is pseudo the season finale, to have... I mean, personally, I've been someone who I feel the Young Bucks, Kenny, and all the elite guys should be, the top priority. I thought the Young Bucks should have won this match, then be the champions, have a good, feel-good thing at the end, and then maybe you can do this, on January 1st. But I think I didn't like how you had the Dark Order just dismantle, your top-tier guys. And the Dark Order, I mean, they could get built up. The tag team, that is. The cult version, they have the jobbers and the creatures, whatever they're called. I didn't like that part.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Bucks and Cody and Kenny, people we all thought, oh, they're gonna have titles. They're gonna put the titles on themselves. They're gonna make themselves over, which they haven't, which is a really good thing. They've let other people have the shine. But eventually, I think it's time. They have a pay-per-view in February. I think we need to start seeing the Young Bucks. They can have this little feud with the Dark Order. February, get back in the tag team scene, and they need to win the tag titles. If we have a singles champion, mid-card singles title coming up, Cody, he can't challenge for the heavyweight title. He eventually needs to move on to that spot. He could be the first champion and really carry that. You know, it's okay if big stars hold mid-card titles. I mean, Mysterio's a big star. He has a mid-card title. We've seen this time and time again. Eventually, Cody can move on to become world champion. Let's say MJF wins the world championship. You know, he panders to the fans. Do you guys want to see me beat him for the title? You know, yada, 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 boom. And then we move on, and Cody can eventually become AEW world champion. And Kenny, well, we all know how I feel about Kenny Omega. Yeah.
Phillip, how do you think AEW has done in their pseudo first year as a company?
Well, their first show was bonkers, because, you know, you boys, we were there. We can tell you. Still literally the best wrestling show I've ever been to. It's on the list for our award show. But no, I think they've done well, you know? The Fighter Fest was okay. Fight for the Fallen was decent. All Out was cool. There have been spotlights on guys who haven't really had a spotlight on them in a while, like Shawn Spears and then all that other stuff. Full Gear was cool. You know, Pac and Hangman, their little rivalry's been alright. Moxley and Jericho nearly killed each other. Not Moxley and Jericho. Moxley and Omega nearly killed each other in that unsanctioned match. Jericho's been golden as their champion. I mean, a little bit of the bubbly Le'Champion, lexicon of Le'Champion, like all this stuff. He hasn't missed, and he's making them a lot of money. I think they've done okay. Because reality and TV, we're 9-10 weeks in, and weekly TV, I think they've done alright.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know exactly what to expect from these guys. You have a new company, you have people we never really seen in booking positions. It started off hot. Double or Nothing, as you said, maybe one of the best wrestling shows of all time. And then, you know, we get into the week-to-week booking of it. First week was good, and then it's kind of petered off a little bit, I thought, kind of in the middle. But I think they have picked it up, despite, you know, that abysmal angle that they ran at the end, which I did not like. Overall, I thought this was a pretty good show. It was one of those really wrestling-heavy shows, which I think is kind of indicative. Like, if Chris Jericho's wrestling, it's going to be a wrestling-centric show. If Chris Jericho's not wrestling, then he's going to be in there, and he's going to talk for like 10 minutes. So I think AEW, as you know, the show was, in the first couple weeks, I was pounding the table, like, okay, they need to do more entertainment-y stuff, they need to do more promos and stuff, but I think they've kind of found their footing for now, and I think 2020 is going to be interesting as well to see what they can do with the full year. They have all their pay-per-views lined up, and it's going to be, I think this is kind of the real test is 2020.
The real test is 2020. We can't wait to see what's going to happen there. Yeah, I'm just checking again. No more, no fan mail. No, none. Nobody wants to write to you boys. All right, Superstar Spotlight. Who do we got? I got to give it to Seth again. His constant evolution has always impressed me. And yeah, I'm looking forward to him and Mysterio tearing it up next week for the United States Championship.
There's only one correct answer, and that is Rhea Ripley, the new NXT Women's Champion. I thought her match was
Spoiler alert!
We've already talked about it.
We have.
I thought that match was absolutely fantastic. If you'd like my full rundown, make sure to tune in next week on Under the Radar, where I'll also be doing my NXT year-end award as well. I'll vote on the NXT awards.
There you go, man. All right,
tease.
All right, Brandon, what's the promo pick of the week, buddy?
Well, it's Christmas time. I think last time I did my promo pick, it was a Christmas-themed promo. We have another one, Tribute to the Troops, 2003, on Christmas Day. And we get Vince McMahon's Santa surprise. So you get Vince McMahon and Santa in the same ring in Iraq. Shenanigans ensues, as you would think. So go and check it out.
Go check it out. It's whatever. It's fine. I was kind of like half asleep when I was watching this, so I really don't remember, Brandon. I'm going to be honest with you.
It's okay. Everybody else can go watch it, and they can judge for themselves back in the days where Tribute to the Troops would happen overseas, but now they take place locally, and can't wait to watch it next week. It's going to be just so much fun. Whoop-de-doo.
Oh, I thought it wasn't televised.
I don't know. I mean, is it always during Christmas week?
Yeah, no, but it wasn't. It already happened. Like, it's not going to be televised.
It's called a taping, Phillip.
No, I'm pretty sure it wasn't going to be televised.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right, our closed match pick of the week.
Shout out to the troops.
Oh, shout out to the troops. We love you. Thank you for supporting and defending our country. ECW Hardcore TV, September 25th, 1999. Rob Van Dam, the whole effing show, versus Jerry Lynn ECW TV title. I told you I love TV championships, ladies and gentlemen. Jerry Lynn, some might say Kenny Omega is his subsidiary in the formation of what he has going on in the pro wrestling game. I always loved watching Jerry Lynn. God, can we say generational talent? Or very underrated talent? We can go that route. Anyway, he and RVD battled. It seems like all the time. Jesus, I can't talk. All the time back in ECW, and a lot of their battles didn't consist over fighting for the television championship. Brandon, what do you think of the match?
A very good match. I mean, I think we've done an RVD Jerry Lynn match before on Match Pick of the Week. I agree with you, Jerry Lynn, one of the more underrated wrestlers of all time. Him and X-Pac, they're kind of almost the same wrestler in a way, both from Minnesota, both, light heavyweights in the North American circuit. Jerry Lynn, absolutely fantastic. Never really got a true shot in the big leagues, WWE or WCW. But ECW, TNA, he was fantastic. And now RVD is in Impact with his girlfriend Katie Forbes. And I don't know if you've been seeing what they've been doing on Impact, Phillip, but it's different.
It is different. Yeah, then I saw the hot tub thing. And did you see Katie Forbes at what you call it? What is it? What am I trying to say? Did you see her at Starrcast?
I did not see her at Starrcast, but I assume if I did see her, I would not have forgotten.
Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, I have to wrap it up here. Follow us on Twitter at Bulletcast, Instagram The Bulletcast, YouTube channel The Bulletcast, email us Bulletcast2 with the number 2, sweet SWEET at gmail.com, 99.9 FM KW in Watsonville every Friday night from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Patreon. Next week, Bulletcast Awards. You don't want to miss it. Brandon and I have gone to our different inner circles, and they are coming together. Yes, our circles are coming together. And we are going to give you our end-of-year awards, what we thought was the best match of the year, Wrestler of the Year, Female Wrestler of the Year, and Wrestler of the Decade. I hyped it up on the Bulletcast Instagram. Go check out the video. All right, this has been the BC. We will talk to you later.
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.